So I get this question every once in a while, and I thought I'd address it today. What do I do at a final walkthrough, and why do we do one? That's coming up next. Hey everybody, it's Matt Allen here once again with the Allen Real Estate team. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. If you're new to my station, I try to provide as much information about real estate, specifically here in Central Florida, but the information can be used anywhere really. It's general real estate information. And if you're new to this station, I would highly encourage you to subscribe and then hit the bell for the notifications. I try to provide videos weekly. And today we are going to talk about this question of what exactly do I do and what is it for? And that's regarding the final walkthrough. It's the last step before you head off and go to the closing title company or attorney's office, wherever you are. We use title companies here. So I want to get into, kind of the top things you really need to do at a final walkthrough. Let's get into it. Okay, so the main reason we do a final walkthrough is for you as the buyer to make sure the house is in the same condition it was when you made the offer on the house. And specifically at the time you did your inspection and spent a little longer in the house. We want to make sure that house hasn't had anything significantly removed from it other than furniture, unless you're buying the furniture, which is a whole other video. But specifically making sure, that the plumbing is still working, the electricity is still on, and that's a good question to bring up right now. It's up to the seller to make sure that electricity and water are still on, so that we can make sure everything is still functioning. Now this is definitely, and I want to stress this is definitely not an inspection process. It's really should only take 15, maybe 20 minutes to walk through the house. Occasionally things do come up during the final walkthrough, especially with houses that have been vacant. And if it's been a fairly long closing process, a lot of times the seller has not been back in the house since it's gone under contract. So there could be a pipe that's leaking or something like that, and that needs to be handled prior to closing, or in some states they do a holdback. They'll hold money at closing to attend to whatever that repair is. But you wouldn't know that unless you go through and do a final walkthrough. Again, it doesn't take a lot of time. It familiarizes yourself with the house to make sure everything's still in proper order. The worst thing you'd want to do is close on the house and go there and the seller had removed all the light fixtures in the house. So that's the main component, but there's a couple other things you really want to keep in mind as you go through the house. So the final walkthrough is also a great time just to scan the property real quick to make sure there's no damage or anything that has happened since the inspection process. Walk around the outside of the house. Make sure there's not been any signs of intrusion. Broken windows, fences that have fallen down. We had a situation like that fairly recently where a fence had fallen down and code enforcement got involved. So make sure those things are all taken care of. Again, the house needs to be in the condition you looked at it. I think a lot of people right now are skipping the final walkthrough because they've had to jump through so many hoops to get here. They don't really care what the house looks like when they get it. But I think that's a huge mistake. Take the time. Again, it's only about 10 to 15 minutes to go over to the house, make sure it's in good condition, and make sure you do this within 24 to 48 hours of closing. You don't want to do it a week ahead of time. So just make sure that it's very close to the closing time. Make sure your agent is there. That's pretty important. And again, make sure you ask them any questions that you might be missing. Thanks again for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was useful. If you do have any specific questions, as always, you could post those in the comments. Send me a direct message, whatever works best for you. And we will see you on the next video. Bye-bye. Hold up. Check out this video over here. It's on what $1 million looks like for a house in Orlando. Thanks again.